Okay, let's get one thing straight here, before we even start. The Dark Knight trilogy are not bad movies. The quality of Christopher Nolan's directing isn't in question here. They're great films, the gold standards for what any film, comic book or other, should be held to, but they aren't good Batman films. I am what you'd like to call a closet Batman fan. I love Batman, from his pointy ears to his size 11s. I love Damian Wayne. I love all of the Robins, even Jason Todd, and I especially love Batcow, but I don't often admit it. This is kind of due to the stigma attached to being a Batman fan. People who read comic books tend to roll their eyes, dismissing you as a casual fan, whose opinion is only based on the 2 or 3 episodes of Justice League you caught when you were 12. And other Batman fans, well, they're assholes. I mean it. I'm a Batman fan, and I'm about to tear apart the most well-loved Batman films there are. Batman fans will always tell you how dark and gritty Batman is, and usually devolve the conversation into some rant about how he could totally kill Superman. But Batman isn't awesome because he's dark and brooding. He's not kick-ass because he's unrealistically prepared for every fight. He's interesting because of the relationship between Bruce Wayne and the Batman. You see, Bruce never really got over the loss of his parents. Anytime it looks like he's coming to terms with it, they throw in another death just to see him humbled. See Jason Todd for that one. He has the most proactive case of PTSD the world has ever seen. Frank Miller's Dark Knight Rises illustrates the symbiotic relationship for me perfectly. Bruce talks about the Batman as if he's a separate persona completely, much like the Hulk and Banner. But unlike the Marvel guys, this isn't two people sharing the body due to science gone wrong. It's due to Bruce's psychological damage caused by losing his family. He is the ultimate empowerment fantasy. This is why I can never get on with the Nolan films. They seem to miss the whole point. It's not the brooding rage that makes Batman a great character. It's the control of that rage, the beast under the surface, that we never really get to see because the Batman is this detached conduit that the anger is channeled through. This also makes the moments when he truly loses control more terrifying. The films definitely have more of a Patrick Bateman in a cape vibe, not helped by the Batman being played by Scary Pants Chainsaw Man himself. I get that this was an attempt to make the Batman more realistic, but I feel it just distances us. Something like grief and helplessness is relatable, and turning those negative emotions into something proactive is something most people will have to do with their lives at some point. Nolan's Batman just feels more vacant, like there's less going on under the surface. Somehow, though, he also comes across as more fragile and broken, and when I say fragile and broken, I really mean whiny. I mean, seriously, dude, you're Batman. Stop throwing your toys out the pram and screaming Rachel and go save Gotham. But haha, I hear you say, Batman isn't the star of his own universe. His rogues gallery is. And you know what? You're kinda right. But not really. The villains only work in their bright, colourful forms because of the juxtaposition to Batman's silent, powerful presence. Even the Joker, one of the best-loved villains ever, only works because he's the polar opposite to Batman. I mean, would we still be talking about the Joker if his enemy was the Green Arrow? But okay, I've put this off for long enough. And you may all be thinking you've got one last ace in the deck. One thing I can't poo-poo. You want to know what I think of this. This is an actor at the top of his game. This is an almost perfect representation of a true psychopath. This deserves to be celebrated as one of the greatest performances given by an actor. But this isn't the Joker. Okay, before you all find out where I live and start leaving flaming bags of poop on my doorstep, hear me out. Heath Ledger is a damn good actor, and he was taken from us too soon. But if we're going to discuss the film objectively, then we have to separate the real world from the event of the trilogies. Heath's portrayal is undoubtedly more true to life, but the character loses something in that process. I felt constantly let down by his punchlines, like there was some fear of going too far with the character, and that it would lose all grounding in reality. But the Joker isn't grounded in reality, and I always felt like we'd get so close to seeing it, and then fall at the last hurdle. Look, here's some examples. Kills a guy with the best vanishing pencil magic trick ever. Then does this unimaginative cop-out with grenades in his pocket thing. Makes 2 guys fight to the death to be in his gang with nothing but a broken pool cue. Then doesn't stick around to watch and laugh at them. Puts a mobile phone bone in a guy's chest. I mean, come on, that's pretty Joker. Everything about that says Joker. But then he uses it in the most stupid get-caught-on-purpose plan in any movie except for maybe Skyfall. Honestly though, I think the holding back was because they were trying to keep the truly crazy stuff for the third movie. Which brings me to the most annoying and disappointing part of the Nolan trilogy, is that you can almost see the third movie we would have gotten if Heath Ledger hadn't died. Okay, so you know that scene where Cillian Murphy is playing the Scarecrow in the courtroom being judge, jury, and executioner? It's a really cool little scene and one of the better parts of Rises, but doesn't really feel like something Scarecrow would do. It's a bit out of place and has always bugged me. See, I think this was originally going to be the Joker in some long-forgotten first draft that they came up with. Bane would come in a lot earlier, breaking the bat and sending him away, and then releasing the Joker as part of his whole Anarchy Reigns kind of deal. Batman would then do his whole Rises, climbing out of the pit thing and appearing mysteriously in Gotham with no money, but then have to fight a much more organised Bane, while Joker slyly slips around in the background, killing people in really sadistic, horrible ways. I mean, that makes a lot more sense, right? So then when Batman eventually defeats Bane, then he starts to contend with the Joker, who's now going to set off the bomb anyway, because he's the Joker. That makes a lot more sense, right? They're not crowbarring Talia al Ghul into it just because she's relevant in the New 52. Now, no one can doubt that the Dark Knight trilogy more or less kicked off the rebirth of superhero movies in the last 10 years. And I don't want to be bringing down the party and making everyone feel bad about something that pretty much single-handedly led to us getting great films like The Avengers. But, in all honesty, I feel we got the film we needed, not the film we deserved.